Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope y'all doing well. We're doing pretty good. By now, you're probably aware that Battlefield 5 Chapter 6, Into the Jungle, will be the last chapter in the series, wrapping up on April 29th. Senior Producer Ryan McArthur letting us know that there will be one more major update released this summer that brings with it some new content, weapons, and game tweaks. After that, there will be weekly rewards to earn company coin, weekly events and activities to keep players engaged, including reintroducing Friday Night Battlefield servers and revisiting older Battlefield titles in Throwback Thursdays. My good friend Mostly Lethal will be joining me today as we talk about Battlefield 5, what went wrong, what we liked, what we didn't like, and what we hope for the future of Battlefield.
Good morning.
How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, my friend. How you doing?
I'm good. You hanging in there on this? Are you upset? You sad? You want to kick some butt? What you want to do?
So much to unpack. Where do we start?
I know. Yeah, it is. It is a lot. Have you been to the subreddit, the Battlefield 5 subreddit? It's just nothing but gems in here.
I bet. I haven't seen it in a couple of days. I'm sure it's just a rant festival.
Just gems.
Yeah, I've got so much, I don't know. We were talking beforehand, and yeah, there's definitely so many, bad things that you want to say about it, but then there are so many good things about it, too. And I think it's fair to talk about both, because, I don't know. For me, anyway, I had a lot of good experiences to offset the bad ones. That's why I kept playing it, to be quite honest with you. It wasn't to get my money out of it. It was to truly, to keep going, because I enjoyed it.
Same here. I've been playing Battlefield since Bad Company 2. So I think that a lot of players have pick up on which Battlefield they're at. I've talked to some players who are Battlefield 1 only and then to Battlefield 5. And so they were very disappointed in the game itself because they're coming from a place of historical content, whereas I'm coming from Battlefield 3, which was a fictional war in a fictional environment. And Battlefield 1 to me was the first time that it was actually realistic. Now I know Battlefield 1942 was set in a realistic type scenario, of course, but I like the fictional stuff, and I think they should have gone back to the fictional stuff for the next iteration of Battlefield. And I think that's what they were trying to do, kind of. They were trying to give us I don't think you can do that with a World War II game. I think that World War II is something that when you go into it, you need to go into it with the right mindset, because there's going to be a lot of, and there was a hell of a lot of feedback when the trailer came out, if you remember that. And I'll be honest with you, I loved the trailer. I thought it was great. I was like, oh, this is great. You got crazy. I mean, I'm all down for the crazy costumes and shit like that, but I didn't realize how the rest of the community was going to take it.
So I think you nailed it, right there. From the get-go, they had a problem, and I think it was this duality. They had two different things going on simultaneously. You see, we're here to tell a very gritty, serious war story, and it's going to look awesome, and it's going to explore some different battles you've never kind of heard about or seen, and that's great. But we're making a serious game. We're keeping true with a World War II game. And then the trailer shows this chick with a bionic arm running around, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, is this the steampunk version of World War II? I can't quite figure out where we're going here. And I don't think they could either. And that's the biggest problem from the jump. I think they had, I don't know, too many cooks in the kitchen or whatever, but too many competing ideas and themes. And I think that was their big problem from the jump. They needed a centralized core theme. And whether it turned out good or bad, pushed forward like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that when they come out and say things, because they got some feedback on the female. And I think they should have.
The fact she was a female was bad too. A lot of people liked that. They got ticked off.
I think that DICE and Battlefield should have just learned the golden rule of shut the fuck up, because they didn't. And
right.
They came out and said, "Well, if you don't like it, don't buy it." Right there, I think that right there is kind of how it's been since that's throughout the entire thing. If you don't like it, don't buy it. And
strike one. Right
yeah.
There.
And and I was like, why?
So I quietly made a list.
Do it, man. Give me a list.
Right, so,
give it to me.
All right. So here's the, I suppose, under the things I didn't like, right? Here's the first thing that really just from the jump, we already covered it, the trailer, right? Again, kind of of two minds on that. Not a fan, but moving forward, right? The game launched. I still bought it, by the way, and I loved it off the jump. I thought it was pretty damn good. It was a little clunky, but I mean, yeah, I don't know a game that isn't a little buggy. But it was tolerable. It wasn't as bad as Battlefield 4. Let's put it that way. When that thing came out, I'm like, this thing's broken.
That is true.
But it was better than that. So I'm like, all right, well, you know, it's an acceptable level of, you know, work in progress, I suppose. But then like the content drought began, right? So we kept playing like what felt like the same 8 maps for about a year. You know, just like, can we get some new fucking content? Like,
yeah.
Like, oh, the same thing. Like, you know, it just got so stale. I started looking for other games to play, to be quite honest with you. But then, you know, they did start, you know, easing out some trailers, you know, and showing like, or teasing out trailers is a better way to say it. So teasing out trailers to show like new content coming out, new maps, and some came out, some didn't. That was kind of weird, a little inconsistent, right? Like I wasn't a fan of that. Maps just too slow, you know, like the drip feed just killed me, you know, but when they did drop them, they were pretty good overall, except for those 2. What were they called? It was like Provence and some other one where like basically you could only play them in like team deathmatch or some shit, you know, again. And the maps really good looking, you know, I can't take that away from them. They did a good job on them overall. I thought they were good, you know. They were very unique, a lot of like, you know, verticality in some maps you didn't have in others. I like that differentiation. I thought that was pretty freaking cool. But then you know, it shifting gears a little bit, game modes, right? So oh my gosh, you were supposed to have a 5v5 mode that was embedded in the game, right? And you know, oh my god, so much great content scooped out from data miners like what, Temporal, and I forget the other person's name. But yeah, great stuff coming out. Never got released. 5v5 dead, never happened. Combined arms, oh my god, what a fucking waste of time. Like I really tried. I'm like, you know what, let's give it a shot. And like after like 3 times playing, I'm like, fuck this mode. Like it just does nothing for me. I don't know, what were your thoughts on it?
As far as the
wasting your time, I mean playing it,
I enjoyed it. I fell head into it. I loved a lot of things about it, but I think that you know what you were saying and writing on the back of that, the content being so slow was tough. I have my favorite maps. I have, you know, but there was just a lack of content. There really was. There was a lack of content at the beginning. Panzerstorm was not my favorite. I have some favorite moments with you. I will say that. Some funny moments with Hunter, some funny moments with you, and Hoff, and I, you know, just there's always going to be these memories that I have that were just hysterical. Until they got, I think once they got Mercury out, that's when it started. The map started to like, okay, finally we got a new map. Those were some funny moments.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, after Mercury, what, Operation Underground came out? Holy shit! I was like, we're back. Oh, we are fucking back, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that was like, I thought that was the turn right there with wait, I'm sorry, before Operation Underground was what, Merida?
Yeah, it was I believe it was Mercury and then Merida. I don't think they have the exact dates on here in this article that I'm looking at.
But you nailed it, because that is the turning point in my opinion. Like for me, that was like, oh, we're picking up steam, and it was like a great hit, another great hit.
Yeah.
And then Underground for me was just like it was all over. I'm like, this is Metro like 3.0. This is perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my god, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And then like then the Pacific dropped, and I'm like, I am playing the best game ever right now. This is amazing. Like I remembered everything I loved about this whole franchise, man. Just a big fan of everything.
Yeah.
Standing ovations. Couldn't wait to jump on with you every morning. I remember like
yeah, we did.
I remember like I was like, I'm gonna take like 4 hours of PTO today and just like hang out here with Jake and just play this thing. So much fun.
And all that great joy, the smile on my face got ripped out from underneath our feet when they decided to change the meta of the game by the time to kill. And I'm just going to say time to kill because I don't want to go into it, but the TTK got changed at 5.0?
I think so.
5.2, whatever the case.
5.2,
yeah. And that's like they had all of this momentum They had all of this momentum, and they could not get out of their own goddamn way. And that, again, going back to the beginning when they said that statement, if you don't like it, don't buy it, they cannot get out of their own damn way.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a corporate thing, like, you know, like the people that control the purse strings are telling the people that are the creative forces behind it, like, what to do, you know, and that's got to be it to some extent. They're a business, I get it, but like at the same time, trust the experts who have built this franchise.
When they pulled everything out from under our feet, I think that was it. And then also changing the game. You remember this, the last time we even did one of these, we were talking about the state of the game and how things had gone south so fast. Right. And what were they doing? Were they making these changes for noobs for Christmas? And I think, and I here's my thought on this, and we, you know, because they were like, what is it, the spotting systems, all that crap, all that stuff was being added. Of course, they've dialed all that back. They've reverted to a degree the time to kill. They've made the distance softer, so you can still be a little bit competitive against snipers if you have an assault rifle semi-auto. And it does feel like it's back to where it was. But anyway,
and I like it that way. It's fine.
It's fine for now.
It's
just, but when they did all that and they were leading up to it, I guarantee you that there was somebody up at EA somewhere going, "You're not bringing in the numbers. It's not where it should be. We don't have the money coming in. We need to fix this ASAP. We need to bring in new players. We're getting feedback. Let's make it a little easier." This was supposed to be because when the game was announced, this was supposed to be a tougher game. This was supposed to be the most hardcore version of the game that ever had. We were supposed to drag players out of the field of battle, and that shit didn't happen.
And maybe for good reason. I don't know if that. The more I think about it, I'm like, that may have just been like a sniper's paradise. You're trying to haul a body to cover and like.
Could you? But see, I have questions. Like, could you pick up an enemy and toss him over the side? I mean, I have so many things.
Oh, that would be awesome.
There was so much potential there. But, you know, to me, this game was supposed to be offered as hardcore, and we talked about that, and you dealt with it, I dealt with it. If somebody's laying down and hiding, that's fine. I was okay with it. I liked it.
And it works both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yep. I agree. And you know what? I thought what they came up with in Battlefield 5 was a perfect compromise between, like, let's say Battlefield 4's regular mode and hardcore mode. It was this perfect split up the middle. I'm like, that's what we need. I don't need a Dorito over everyone's head, but at the same time, that's too easy. But at the same time, like, I like having some kind of a HUD and not just running around a giant map with no HUD. You know, like, that's also hard. So this is perfect.
But yeah, I thought as far as the concept, it was great, and unfortunately, it didn't get there. And I really still and right now I'm still optimistic. Very small little child of me is going, maybe one day they'll come back and finish it, and we'll get the other battles that we want. We'll get the Eastern Front, maybe. We'll get the Battle of the Bulge. You know, I'm like
the little Timmy voice inside.
Oh
here,
man,
right?
Maybe we'll get Battle of Berlin.
That would have been so tight. It would have been so tight. Instead of like, we're gonna fight in this random island no one's ever heard about.
we didn't even get Midway. Oh my God, I would have loved that.
It could have been epic. It could have been so epic. I appreciate their bold choice for going for very random and obscure things, but at the same time, I don't think it worked that well. I think the evidence has shown not everyone really dug it the way they wanted everyone to dig it. And, you know, you tried and you missed. Just learn your lesson on that one. That's all I have to say. Jesus, don't do that again.
Maybe they finally got out of their own damn way, and they learn and they go, okay, maybe we need to put our resources towards the next game. And I think that's what they're doing. That's why it's going to be a while, and thank fucking God, because maybe this will give the developers time to create a game. Because I swear to God, dude, if the game comes out horrible, it's their own damn fault. They've had the time to work on it.
And the feedback, holy shit. You know, like, development half the battle, like actually making the thing once you have the idea. the first part is the idea, and they've had all the feedback in the world. There is a ton of constructive criticism out there for them to sort through and go, do this, not that. Like, I mean, that's no doubt. There's no question about that. So, I don't know, a couple things I hope they scrap in the next one, right? Lose single player mode. Or put so little resources into it, no one plays it. Like, I forget the stats I saw on this, like how many people are playing single player versus multiplayer. It's nothing. Yet they put a lot of time into it. And by the way, I have played it. It looks great, man. I have to tell you, it is a well polished looking thing.
Yeah. For
the most part, a couple of glitch issues, but I thought it was great. But again, also kind of some sad, weepy shit.
Okay.
Beautifully depressing is how I describe it. Like, oh yeah, it's like watching a Lifetime movie. It's like, right. It's kind of sad, like,
yeah.
Like these obscure stories about, like, oh, this family in Sweden. No offense, I don't give a fuck. Like, pick something relevant. Better yet, scrap it and put all that energy into the multiplayer. Lose our combined arms. God damn, that failed experiment. Dump that. And put any of that energy into whatever you want to call community games in its next iteration, which hopefully is on the list of things to build. Only this time, get it right. Do it just like you did it back in Battlefield 3 and 4. Perfect. Just do it that way.
You're right. They really were scatterbrained when they were doing this. I don't know why they thought they should come out with this story mode, but they did. So, yeah, what do you want to see them keep going into the next Battlefield game?
Yeah.
Whether it's Battlefield 6.
Yeah, and I think that ties in. That's a great question. What should we keep in the next one? Which ties in great with what did we like in this one?
Yeah.
And I have to say, there were some things that did really well that I'd love to see translate over. Obviously, a lot of the game modes I saw were pretty good. I like Fortress. I like Outpost. Those were fun games. Rush. Oh, God. Give me Rush. I love it. Grind. These are awesome. And they can be sometimes game modes. Not all the time game modes, but this is where we may differ a little bit. I know you don't like Grind that much, but I know. But I loved them. I thought they were great, but especially like Fortress, Outpost. Those were fun because Fortress is just like a lead festival. Like, it's just a wall of lead, and either you're slinging it or you're wading into it, or both at the same time. Just so much fun. I'd love to see some of those game modes make it over. That showed a lot of creativity. I thought that was great. I really liked also the team dynamic. Like in Battlefield 5, they came out with this limitation of ammo capacity at the beginning, and really kind of chaining together how these four individual classes kind of work as a unit, right? That's one of the things that makes Battlefield a little bit different than other franchises. They've had it for years. I know that's going to make it over into the next one. I think that's working, which is just why I want to mention it. Like, don't tweak that. That's some of your basic ingredients to your recipe. Leave that there.
Yeah, attrition. I like attrition. I think it was fun. I think it was something new in the game. I like, on top of attrition, I like having the health stations and the ammo stations, because having to find a medic or a support player to give me ammo, and I've chased a support player across the map in Battlefield 4 to give me fucking ammo.
Right.
I
to watch him die right in front of you.
Yeah. I just like, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, I don't ever want to be screaming, I need ammo! I need ammo! Okay, never mind, I have a place to go. So I like that. I also like the fact that you can take the ammo off the player now, which I think is fantastic. I believe if they're carrying a crate, they can just take it off of you.
That was smart. You're right. What'd you think about construction, like building?
I thought it was really, at first, I thought it was really campy. I thought it was really kind of a dorky thing.
Mm-hmm.
I still do, to a degree.
And I still do. Listen up, nerds.
I think it's just I don't know.
We agree on like 90% of everything, but fair enough. But this is one of those ones where I gotta say, like, I love this hidden extra layer in the game where I just touch down on my control pad,
Right.
and all of a sudden, like, this new hidden world is
Right.
waiting there for you to build. I'm like, right
okay,
on.
so here's the thing. I do like it. I don't like... there's something about it that I just think is just silly. But I do like the idea of building the things. I do like the idea of the hidden layers. I do like it where you have to... Hey, there's a platform here. When I build the platform, the blueprint of the cannon shows up or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you don't
totally.
see every... So I like that. I don't like the way it works. I think it's just silly. And it still doesn't work properly at times. Like, if you're too close to something else, it doesn't... I don't know. It's just...
Yeah, you have to get kind of good at knowing your distances for certain things. That's true.
I liked squad pickup for each other. That to me was the best.
Yes.
And my cream of the crop, because I was gonna do a video probably about a week or two ago explaining I like Battlefield 5. I really do. I like Battlefield 5, but that was the same time that they had said they had made their little statement about opening the servers back up in South Africa. And then, but they would be they'd be dropping them as soon as the pandemic was over. So it's like, oh Jesus! Anytime you get ready to make something positive about Battlefield 5, again, the Battlefield itself just sticks its foot in its mouth.
Yeah.
But here's my thing. My biggest thing I love about Battlefield 5 is the movement. The way you slide, the way you move, the vaulting, the catching yourself. Getting yourself up over things is insanely good. Go back and play Battlefield 1 and it's not as good. Battlefield 4, it's even worse. Battlefield 3, you're tripping over a pebble in the street. It's clunky, it's hard to move. I still enjoy it, and I enjoy all. And again, I'm coming from a place where I've played Battlefield Bad Company 2 all the way to this one. I've played them all. The main ones. I did not play the PC games when they came out, so I didn't have those experiences. But I played console all the way up through to this one, and I've thoroughly enjoyed them, and they have gotten better and better and better when it comes to movement. The technology has gotten better, the ability to do certain things. Now they struggled with, and they still struggle with, I think, the deployment of the bipod. It's just stupid. It's like you can deploy your bipod on one thing, but you can't deploy it on something else. It didn't make any sense. They really, really failed at that. But everything else when it comes to movement was just spot the fuck on. It's great. Even on a PlayStation 4, it plays better than it's just put together so much better than Battlefield 4 was. As far as optimization is concerned, because you're still dealing with the same crap that you had at the beginning. Now, I don't know, was Battlefield 4 on PS3?
Yes, it was.
It was on PS3. Okay.
Yep, I bought it twice, sadly. I bought it on the PS3.
I had no idea. Somebody had said I kept seeing search results for Battlefield 4 on PS3, and I'm like, I wasn't even aware of that.
Every iteration obviously has had a big graphics upgrade, which I appreciate. 3 to 4, 4 to 1, 1 to 5. Yeah, you could definitely tell. 4 to 1, huge leap. Oh my God. And then even 1 to 5, they've done great. So I mean, they put the work in on like textures and things like that. I mean, you can complain that well, I didn't have enough ways to customize my soldier, and that's true. But again, like for stuff they got right, like I thought maps themselves and backgrounds and all that type of stuff looked beautiful. People complained about like debris in the air and stuff like that, like on Devastation. Like there's just so much stuff going on. I loved it. I'm like, this looks wild. Like, and I get it's a challenge. That's the point. It's a freaking bombed out city. That's what it's supposed to look like.
Devastation was, I think a lot of people didn't like Devastation is because people were hiding and they were hard to see. And I loved it. I thought it was fucking great. I love Devastation.
I agree.
I also think that there were more alleys and lanes than the other maps. Most of the maps were just too damn wide open, even though they were beautiful to look at, but they were just kind of wide open. That's why I like the city maps, and you have some alleys and some lanes, but man, there's so much exposure in those maps. It's sniper's paradise.
Yeah. MG Player's Paradise too. Oh god, I love running that MG 42 on that map on Devastation.
Oh yeah, that and I remember you on Rotterdam. God damn, that bridge. It's just a lane to itself. So yeah, you were inside the trains, another lane there. Just and you just constantly laughing like, what are you doing? I'm just load up another 250.
Just look at the kill feed.
Yeah.
I'm camping my ass off. This is great.
I got s'mores, motherfucker.
That's right.
It's not camping, it's strategic positioning.
Right, now I've set up a residence. I got mail here.
I love it. I love that about you. Like you're the like I've seen players like people just bitch at them for using AP mines, and I'm like, it's in the fucking game. And then they bitch, oh, we need to get rid of the AP mine. You can use them too. Well, they keep putting them at hell stations. Well, fucking look before you leap. Eventually, you will learn. I learned that they were going to be at hell stations, so I started, I just started looking. Oh,
right, rookie.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
This was supposed to be a hard game, motherfucker, not an easy game.
Exactly. Do I have to put like a rubber cushion on every corner for you so you don't bump yourself and get hurt?
Yeah.
Come on, man. I digress.
I will say something that I want to go back to something that really pisses me off. It doesn't really piss me off. I don't get that emotional about all this, by the way. It's not going to change. When I get off of this, I'm not going to go back and go, well, I really should have done this. I don't care. I really don't. It's not in the sense of, I don't care what I still care about the game, but I just don't really have.
Right.
I'm not emotionally overextended, if you will.
So you're not gonna like take a picture of your screen as you hit the uninstall button and then send it to the subreddit and be like, "See this?
I'm still gonna play the game." No, we're still playing the game, y'all. We're not gonna stop playing the game. It's the latest Battlefield that's out there until the next one comes out. However, I do plan on playing more Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3. And I want to see if I can get into some Battlefield Bad Company 2. I'm going to see if I can find a group that wants to jump on PC for that. I'm still going to be playing the game. You're still going to be playing the game. We're still going to do it. We are going to try and play some more Call of Duty or some Call of. I've got Lethal here, the Modern Warfare Warzone. We're going to try that out, see how that goes. Yeah, so I'm still going to play the game, but I think what I was getting to, from my perspective, I don't blame DICE so much. I probably put more blame on EA. And then at the same time, you hear people complaining about, well, how come it was that they had Battlefront 2 back up and running? That's Star Wars. They have a contract with Disney. They don't want to lose that shit. So that's why they were doing what they did for Battlefront 2. They didn't give a shit about Battlefield. EA did not. EA knows that they're going to be fine. They're like, no, they'll be fine, but let's just go ahead. So I'm actually, I'm saying this. I'm proud that they went ahead and pulled the plug on it so that they can put all their resources into the new one. But it still blows my mind that people are just so, uninstalling the disc and burning it or shaking their fist. It blows my mind. But that's what I want to talk about next is, what do you want from the next Battlefield game?
I want a modern venue. I want a basically echo Battlefield 4, just modern. You know what I'm saying? Like with modern graphics and everything that's evolved and changed between when that came out and now, right? So I want choppers. God damn it! I want to get back in a fucking chopper. Yeah. I miss choppers so much. Yeah. They were so much fun. Dirt bikes, ATVs. These were all really cool things that we had, like Battlefield 4. Oh my god, like zipping around on a motorcycle in the desert with like a slam mine and like flying up on tanks. And you see the tank just trying to swing that turret as fast as he can. You're like, you ain't gonna make it, buddy. Bam! Shit like that. That brought me so much joy. Oh my god.
Yeah, there's something about Battlefield 4 that I would like to see. I don't care if it's Vietnam to whatever. I don't want to be flying around. I'll say that. I don't want to fly around as a person or as a soldier. So it better not be like 22, 25 or some stupid shit like that. I personally,
you don't want like a jetpack.
Oh god, no! I won't buy it. If it has a jetpack, I'm probably not going to buy it. I hate to say it. Yeah.
Sounds right.
But I think they'll get their shit together. I'm hoping it's Vietnam-ish, kind of modernish. I would like that. I think I would like more modern now. Yeah. Give me Battlefield 4-ish, and then a fictional conflict again. Fictional conflict. Yep. I don't want anything, just something fictional, something going on, and multiple factions involved, and then also you get the same things to carry over from Battlefield 5. I want to be able to pick up my teammate, my squad mate. I want to be able to, but I mean, I want all the good stuff to carry over. The vaulting, the catching yourself on the ledge, the rolling. Yes. I think is pretty fucking smart as well. I think that is really clever.
Yep.
The gunplay itself, the way the bullet velocity was working, I loved the variance of each gun having its own individual kind of recoil pattern. Not every gun was straight up, not every gun was straight this way or that way. You know what I mean? Each gun had a little wiggle to it, and it was a little different, and you had to figure it out.
Yeah, and they put a lot of love into that. That was a lot of research. That was good.
The idea of hitting somebody in the arm, but it going through and hitting them in the chest as a critical hit or whatever was awesome too. No one talks about that, but they had made those changes where the hitboxes were kind of adjusted. So if they have their arm up over their head as the animation was going on, that would still count as a headshot.
I love it because in real life the bullet would probably go through their arm and into their head anyway.
Right.
Another thing I'd like to see come back.
Yeah.
Night maps. I don't know if I'm the only one out there that likes night maps.
No.
I fucking love night maps in Battlefield 4. Every map that's a daytime map should have a nighttime equivalent. That's my personal preference. Every single one. I love it so much. I don't see why it's that hard to just turn down the fucking brightness.
You know what they could do? Here's something fun. Have a day cycle continuing the sun moving all the time. I think that would be funny as hell. Have like 45-minute days. I don't know. I just think it'd be funny. As you're in a server, it just keeps going night, day, night, day, night, day. I think that'd be great.
That could be cool. Yeah, have that variable. I mean, Dawnbreaker did that. That was kind of cool.
Did they?
Yeah, Dawnbreaker actually started like at this dusky, very dark thing. This is Battlefield 4, and like the sun comes up as the round progresses.
Oh, and, yeah.
And eventually, it's this big bright dawn at the side of the map. Kind of cool.
Yeah, I remember that. Anyway, I think that might be fun, but I don't like late afternoon or early morning battles. I think that's stupid. I had a friend of mine tell me, well, it's trying to be realistic, and I still say this, like, it's a video game. But I'm the same guy that's going to bitch that the scout class or just a sidearm could kill you just as quick as any gun. I'm like, no, that's stupid. It's a video game.
Another positive thing to carry forward. I know you hate that.
That's
forever.
The one thing I hate. It's like, how is that? That's stupid. Christina, though, she had the revolver, and she was just so giddy because she just like took out like 2 or 3 people. She whipped out she ran out of bullets. She whipped out her sidearm, which was the revolver, and went bang, 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 killed them all. She's learning, man. I'm loving it.
That's awesome. Another thing.
Yeah.
So this is actually from Battlefield 4, and someone on Reddit actually said it in that subreddit field, and I can't argue with it. It makes perfect sense. The loadout map on Battlefield 4 might have been the most organized thing I've ever seen. It's so right there and quick, and you can make these adjustments just on the fly and kind of see stuff change on the character as you're doing it, whether it's the weapon or him or her, whatever. That was so smart. It was just so quick to do. Like that worked for me better than any other one so far.
Map. I think Battlefield 4, as far as the overview is concerned, had the best map because you could see the player perspective in a little box below you when you highlighted them, and then it would tell you whether or not you could spawn. Yeah, I think Battlefield 4 absolutely had one of the best little put together maps. Bad Company 2 didn't have the best looking, but to be able to adjust your loadout before you go into it was phenomenal. Yeah, I don't think they'll ever carry, because every time they start a new Battlefield game, they just start from scratch, right?
Yeah, that's what I've seen.
Yeah, it's like, why did y'all not just take everything over? But I have to say again, the character model movement has been fantastic. What else? What else do you that you love about the game, or you enjoy about Battlefield 5? What is it that keeps you? Is it just the game modes? Because in Battlefield 1, I still think they had some of the best operations that I'd ever seen. The way they did battalions instead of everything else. That I love that. I think that was great. The behemoths aside, I still don't care for behemoths. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Bryson. I don't like behemoths. I think they're stupid, but that's just me.
The best thing about Battlefield 1, in my opinion, and again, this was not my favorite of all of them for just me personally, but Battlefield 1, when they would have this surge, sometimes it happened at the beginning of a round, but it's this big rally cry where all the troops just start yelling, and like there's these like field whistles that like lieutenants have where they're like blowing them to get everyone mobilized. Like your hair on your arm stands up. It's like, that is so chillingly awesome. Yeah. Like you really get an idea of like a glimpse anyway to like what that might have been like in that moment. And that is the immersion that I absolutely love. Those type of things.
I think you're right. Somebody had said they liked Battlefield 1 because it was the most immersive of the battlefields when it came to things like that. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. Because Battlefield 5 to me was still very immersive in certain situations, but not like that. Not like Battlefield 1 was. Battlefield 1 was to me something that you can set aside as that worked. That was good. They should have stopped there.
Agreed. Yeah, it worked well. I just, again, the mechanics of it weren't my personal favorite, but like everything else was flawless. They did a great job on that.
Battlefield 1, but it allowed me to become a better player, and it allowed me to understand. After I go back and play it, I know it's still a tough game. You've got really good players over there, and they play phenomenal. And the fact that you can one-shot somebody with a sniper rifle, depending on the range, is insane. And probably how it should be.
The sweet spot.
Yeah, probably how it really should be, I think. There was a game called Mag a long time ago that Sony put out on the PlayStation 3, and you could put on armor, but it slowed you down. Like, you could do all these things. I mean, they had that game nailed. Hell, they even had a proximity chat where you could talk to the enemy, talk smack. And then and you could bleed them out. And that's something else about Battlefield 5 too. I just thought about that, but yeah, you could bleed them out. Battlefield 5, at one point in time, you could bleed people out if you threw an incendiary on them. They changed. They took that away. They changed it.
Yeah, people got pissed that people were doing that.
I didn't see anybody complaining about. When they would do it. Yeah.
I would never complain, because I would do it to people too when you kill someone and you just like throw out a flaming grenade and I'm like, hey, fuck you.
I want you to burn that ticket right now. Bye.
Yeah, you're dead to me. You're dead to everyone.
What else do you like? What else do you want to see carry over? Anything else?
Rental servers. I mean,
we don't even have that. Free. I tell you what, I'll say this. Yeah, free. How about that?
You know what? Yeah, sure. And I'll tell you this. If you get it right, I mean, like really right, like Battlefield 4 right with your rental servers, I'll pay. I really would. Not much, but I would pay. Oh my God! I think they could make so much money. They could make so much money if they would just do that again.
I think so too, and I'm actually shocked that they didn't do that. And honestly, I wish they would have done where they. I wonder if that would have kept the game going. Because if you could have put all the features in, somebody at DICE should have said, "Look, if we give them what they want and adjust the game mode how they want to adjust it, and we get all this right, we can charge, and we can make our money back very quickly." But I think it was just time versus, I think it was time versus money now. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. I'm disappointed that it didn't leave, but I am kind of relieved that it's over for that, and that's they're moving on.
I'm sad this relationship's over, but I'm glad. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not. I feel like I'm breaking up. I'm not leaving the game. I'm still gonna play the game because I enjoy the game, but. I'm glad that the developers are able to move on to the next thing, because they tried, they gave it their best shot, as you said, and it's time to move on. Maybe this was the sign of them pulling their head out of their metaphorical ass.
Yeah, good point. Good call. Agreed.
Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot more just to add to it. What about you, man?
I think we've kind of said it all, to be quite honest with you. It's a pretty clear-cut case. I think we know what works.
Yeah.
We know what doesn't. We know what we want to see in the next one.
Yeah.
We've talked about what disappoints us. We've talked about what, really worked and we loved. And yeah, I think I will play the next one. I have no doubt. I will keep playing this one. I will play prior versions. They're still fun to play. There's so many good things about them. So I look forward to the improvement in the franchise.
I did too. Good. Well said, sir. Well said. Good hanging out with you, man. I've enjoyed this. I know we talked about doing this again, but this is one of those things that just takes up a Saturday, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can get chatty with it.
Yeah, we got chatty big time. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, we do appreciate it. And if you liked the video, hit the like button. If you didn't, you hit the. Is it broken? I think the dislike button's broken, so don't hit that. That'll break everything. I don't care. But Mr. Lethal, thank you so much for joining me, sir. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, my man. Have a good one.
You too, and thank you, everyone. And we'll talk to you all soon. Bye for now.